one that everybody quote. Fly dream, cause I make them all scream like.
Alright, take him out, take him out. Give it up for Trap Jesus. After this EP that just dropped, you should probably drop another one before the end of the year. Drop a new song every day. You know, film this shit. Get on YouTube, film it. You know, put your shit on SoundCloud, Bandcamp, everywhere. You know, set up your own show for Prism. You know, like rent out a venue and do a Prism show and start local. 30 people might come. Rock it out, film it, make it look sexy. There's so many other tools that you can use, like Transient Designer, Transient Master. Have you guys heard of Transient Master before? Yeah, for native instruments or Transient Designer, like really adjusting like your attack and decay and stuff like that. And then EQs, obviously, but just a lot of it is really trusting your ears and being mindful of where your drums sit compared to everything else in the mix. So, and there's definitely different techniques and tricks that you can apply, but my rule of thumb always since day one is just like trust your ears and like listen to a lot of different shit. Like I still reference my drums with all the shit that Questlove does on his drums and like the way the Roots albums were mixed. And then I'm still referencing back Mercy, Kanye, you know, Cruel Summer album, like that the mix on the 808 to me is insane. So like I'm always A-Bing my shit with theirs. So it's trial and error, you know, and just like comparing your stuff to other people.
What's up, dude?
What's going on here?
You know.
Who got the freshest beats?
You know, there's some beats in here, man. There's
I
some
want to
beats.
hear. Last night I was with Puffy, Diddy, Combs, and a few other people.
Yeah. You a Portishead fan, so. App, you want to plug in?
Go speak to the crowd, man. Hey, I work with him.
Yep.
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 Go speak to the crowd, man.
Come on, man. Put App on the spot like that.
Show me that knowledge why you been in the game over 20 years. Tell him.
We good, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true, man. Longevity. I mean, you know, we got music producers in here. You obviously have worked with one of the greatest, Will.I.Am, as a group. First of all, clap it up for Apple the App. Please, come on. I didn't want to put him on the spot, but JJ's.
I'm gonna put him on the spot.
What's your piece of advice for like the up and coming music producer? What should they be focusing on right now?
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
I mean, you know, been in the game for 20 years. I forgot how to count. But actually, you never know what it is. You always gotta find something new every time. You know, for every album, you don't know what that sound is. It's the moment. It's the journey to find it and stick with it. You know, like. You know, when we approach electro music, you know, we did it because we loved it. You know what I mean? And we believed in it. We're like, yo, we're gonna put. It's like, how do you rap to a 128 BPM? You know what I mean? So you gotta find that pocket. I've been in the game for 20 years, but I'm still figuring it out. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta like. Push the envelope every time, you know, you approach a beat. And JJ's like the best, like, if you want your beat to be like heard,
oh yeah,
that's all JJ does all day is just play beats. But that's like, you know what I mean? You need people like JJ to like that believe in that beat and like. It's like, oh, I hear somebody on this. Like, you know, that type of guy. Like, oh, I hear Weeknd on this one. I hear Kanye on this. I can shot this to Snoop. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, you need that liaison to come in and really help you make that decision,
you know,
right?
After a while, you know, you made the beat. Now you listen to it like 50 times and shit. You're like, okay, what the fuck? What's next? You know what I mean? So, and then at some point you're like, you know, you hit that roadblock, but then, you know, you got a homie to bounce off of.
Yep.
And like, oh, you know what I mean? So you need a team.
Yep.
You need a team always, you know what I mean, to have a fresh ear. Because, you know, after a while, making the beat all day or for a few hours, you're like, fuck.
You get numb to
This
it.
is dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
From Kanye to Timbaland to, you know, whoever you've been blessed to, you know, work with idols in, you know, the game. How do you approach, like, trying to guess, you know, what they, you know, wanna hear?
I don't guess. I don't guess at all. I used to guess. When I was guessing, my beats sucked.
Yeah.
When I stopped guessing and just started doing what the fuck I wanted to do,
Yeah.
then I started attracting the people that liked it, which is what I wanted to happen anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Don't
That's
ever pigeonhole yourself or put yourself in a box like that. Like, that's the perfect thing you could say. Just come from the heart, and people gonna gravitate to your energy, because the music is energy. That's why music brings, like, this room. It brings the people together. So just feel like, that's why, you know, I use a lot of the different Jedi references, you know, although, you know, I'm a Sith Lord too, but that's another story. But the energy, like, I've been with Tim while he's making the beat, Danger and all of them, Will.I.Am, Illmind, you know, even Ed back there, like this kid from Chicago that people don't know about. He goes by Arctic 606. Amazing producer, but I think he thinks too much sometimes, because he really got it. It's just more like, let it go. Perfect advice.
How do I find an attorney? How do I find a lawyer? Well, you know, the quick answer is that if any one of you guys end up getting a major placement, let's say my man Mo, are you signed to a publisher?
Yeah.
You are? Okay, do you have a publishing deal?
No.
But what PRO are you with?
ASCAP.
Okay, so you're part of ASCAP. Let's say you got a placement recently with Rihanna, right? And do you have a manager yet?
I just recently got one like a couple weeks ago.
Okay, do you have an attorney?
No.
Okay, so you got a placement with Rihanna, and they definitely want to use it for the album. The good news is that that's very appealing to publishers, but it's also appealing to attorneys. There's definitely entertainment lawyers out there that are willing to, you know, take a percentage and curate that transaction for you, because they know it's a big placement, and it's like it'll probably be worth their time and worth the amount of money they could potentially make. They'll probably say, like, I'll do it for 5% or whatever, and they're probably going to want to, you know, continue to represent you as you start growing, because after you get a Rihanna placement, you're probably going to start getting more phone calls, and you're going to have publishers that are going to offer publishing deals and stuff like that. So the good news is, guys, that, like, when you do get that placement, there's definitely people out there that will be willing to help.
Also, you guys in your position, new guys, when you do, God willing, get that placement, don't get frustrated or be like blindsided by the fact that Ariana or Beyonce or Justin, you know, will maybe want a piece of that publishing, you know. So it's like, because the beat might be so dope, or if you're a writer, the hook or the melody might be so dope that they want to use it, and they didn't come up with nothing, but they're gonna want a piece because that's the position they're in. So you gotta understand, you guys have to be open-minded to giving up something, to get something in the long run.
You want people to remember you by, like, say, Post Dre did that, you know, DJ Quick did that, but yo, Illmind did this. That's Illmind. How do you want people to remember?
Man, just deep connection. Just like, you know, my mission is to just inspire, right? Whether it's like hearing a beat that I made, or a song that I placed on a record, or like a YouTube video you watched, or a podcast you heard, or tonight. You know, if I, in some shape or form, have inspired you or sparked something inside of you to become a better person, then I did my job. And my mission is to scale that as much as possible. Like, I'm happy with that happening just to one person, but if I can over time scale that to 1 million people, and then eventually 7 billion. I'm good. How many of you guys, by show of hands, are signed up to a PRO? BMI, CSAC, ASCAP, any of those? Okay, every single one of you guys should have your hand up.
Yeah.
Should. John, any advice on performing rights organizations? What's like the best way to go about it?
I think that's definitely a mind. 6 to 1, half dozen to the other. It's kind of the same shit. Get a lawyer. Is my honest advice. I understand publishing better than 99 out of 100 people, and I understand like 1% of it is an extremely complicated, nuanced topic. Just be mindful and get a lawyer.
Lord.
Yeah.
Can I just add something?
Yeah, go for it.
Just for everybody that's getting used to publishing, always use split sheets. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you're in a session and you're with people, especially people you don't know, just do it on your phone, text each other and say, you know what, you get 30%, I get 40% or whatever, and get it done straight away. So that way, 2 weeks or 2 months later, you're not trying to figure it out, and you get in fights or people get taken off the record.
Yeah.
This stuff happens to
Yeah.
people that are major even.